And again, since many of you were not available, my name is Gaurav Sharma, and I'll be your trainer for today. So today we will cover a lot of, so it's a 1 hour content writing workshop. I'll just share my screen. It's a 1 hour workshop organized by Welkin. And yeah, we did discuss a few of yours interest just to know that in content writing, what is it exactly that we are interested in. So nice to know all of that. Others, those who have joined now, you can mention it on chat that in content writing, since you're joining this workshop, definitely you are interested in content writing. So if you can put on chat that in content writing, what is it exactly that you're interested in? It would be really helpful. Okay. So let's start. First of all, before we start with content writing, I would like to ask you guys, what is content? General question. What do you mean by content? And yes, please feel free to answer. Yeah, you can unmute yourself and you can answer.
To describe product.
Okay, correct.
Content, content is a piece of knowledge which you provide to the potential customer
Mm-hmm.
who are more likely to be interested in your product or services. It can be in any form. It can
Okay.
be a blog post. It
Mm-hmm.
can be a social media post, or it can be a in video form. So yeah, this is content as per me.
Perfect. Yes. So content can be anything. Anything else that anyone else would like to add? Buddy, yes, please. Okay. So what Vishal said is exactly correct. Content can be any sort of information or any sort of any sort of knowledge that we are sharing. Content can be an information or it can also be an experience that we are sharing towards a user. Now, information in the sense that, let's say, there are academic contents, there are technical contents, there are medical contents. So those deal with sharing information. The primary objective of sharing such type of information is to share some knowledge, some information to the readers or the end user. Content is also used to share experience. Now, what sort of experiences? For example, if we have to, if there are some writers who enjoy writing food
Uh,
blogs. Yes, Vishal, you wanted to say something?
Actually, your voice is not clear. Uh,
Okay. Okay. Others, are you? Can you hear me clearly?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Vishal, I
yes.
think the problem is from your side. For Gaurav, it's okay.
Okay. Yeah, Vishal, possibly could be your connection or maybe something from your side.
Okay, okay, sorry.
Okay. No problem. Okay. Thanks, Julius. All right. Uh, yes. So as you're saying that, yes, many writers are interested in writing information or blogs, such as like travel blogs. So when we write travel blog, in such type of blogs, we are actually sharing experience. So when we travel to a certain place or a certain destination, we had a certain experience which we would like to share with the readers or with our audience. So any sort of information or any sort of experience that is passed towards an end user or an audience can generally be termed as a content. Okay. Now, content writing is when we are sharing that information in the form of words like writing. Uh, it can now, the content is shared. It can be in the form of videos. It can be in the form of podcast. Do you guys know what is a podcast?
Audio form of content.
Yes, correct. Audio form of content. So instead of reading something, we just listen to it. For example, like there are people who may not have the time to read books. So instead of that, they just connect a headset and they listen to it. Okay? It's a different experience. There are also a lot of informational podcasts. There are humorous podcasts. There are motivational podcasts. Like if you guys use apps like Spotify or Ghana, so you'll find a lot of podcasts. So even that is a sort of content that we are sharing. And the majority content that is actually shared these days is video content. So after the introduction of TikTok, suddenly video content has jumped sky high. So it's suddenly a huge amount of content that we have now. But YouTube videos or any sort of information that we share, those are all considered as content. Now, content writing is a field which deals with any sort of information. Um, Content writing is actually something that we experience in our day-to-day life as well. For example, if you're working in a corporate, we send an email to our boss. That email has to be structured properly, because when we are reading, our frame of mind and the writer's frame of mind may be different. So when you text someone, what are you doing? The other person, our intentions may be very simple, like just ask questions. What are you doing? But the other person, if that person is not in a good mood, the person may think, what are you doing? So that same sentence, but can be in a different perspective. So that is why choosing your words carefully is actually very important when we write content. Okay. Now, if we have to write a good content, okay, there are a few things which are actually good to know. Okay. First is a head-turning headline, a headline which is really attention grabbing, because I think most of us would do it. When we are reading any sort of content or blog, we first look at the headline. If the headline is interesting, then we read the next part of it. But headline is very important. Now, if you have to make a headline attractive so that the reader has to read it, one of the things that works really well for a good headline is first, use emotionally charged words. Now, what are emotionally charged words? You can use words like amazing, mind blowing. For example, if we write, if we are comparing two headlines, first is 5 ways to keep yourself healthy, okay? Or or let's say um, effective ways to stay fit. Okay, this is one example: effective ways to stay fit. Second example is 5 mind-blowing ways to stay fit. Both of them somewhat is in the same line, but which one sounds more attractive? Effective ways to stay fit or 5 mind-blowing techniques to stay fit? Which one do you think is more attractive?
Second one, mind blowing.
Second one.
Yes, correct. The second one. There are two things which actually makes the second one more effective is numbers. Based on a research, a headline which has numbers uh, tend to get more clicks, more views. And second is the emotionally charged word, which is mind-blowing techniques to stay fit. So these sort of words actually grab attention. So if you guys are interested in writing blogs, or if you are already into writing blogs, use such techniques to get better views. So this will make your content more visible. Okay. The next thing is a hook that grabs their attention. Do you know what is a hook?
To catch the reader's attention,
Yes.
we
Yeah,
throw
go
out
ahead.
something.
Mhm.
This is called hook, I think.
Okay. Yes. So it's actually so yes, what you said is correct. Usually the first line when the content start, the after the headline, the first line is actually considered as a hook. Because how people usually read any sort of blog or a content is first they read the headline. If they find the headline interesting, then they read the first paragraph. If the first paragraph is nice and attractive, attention grabbing, that is when they read the entire content. Right? So hook is usually considered, the first line is considered as the hook. So when you're writing, the first line is very important. So take care of how you start. There are actually different ways that you can start your content. Is one of the way is by using by question, by starting with a question. The first line could be a question. For example, do you often think how can you stay fit at home? And then you can continue from there. Yes, we have the solution, or yeah, continue reading to know more about this. So this is how you can start. Another way you can start is you can start with a quote. Okay? So and so there are various techniques, but yeah, these two are few of the ones that actually work. You can also start with a metaphor. Do you know what is a metaphor? It's a term which is often used in grammar.
Used as a comparison.
Yes, used
Comparative.
as a comparison. Like
Perfect.
Yes,
simple.
something like he fought like a lion.
Yes, correct. So when we say the king fought like a lion in the battle, so we are comparing the king to the lion. Okay, this is one of the example of metaphor. Okay, but generally in metaphor, we do not use the word like or as. So in metaphor, we usually mention words like the king was a lion in the war. Okay, so it's we do not use the word like and as. Like and as is more used in similes.
Simile.
Correct. Um, so you can start with a metaphor which is related to your content, and that is when you can continue from there. Okay? So these type of phrases or these type of things actually really grabs the attention, and a good research always helps. Okay? Because we need to know that if you're sharing information, it has to be a fact. If we are publishing incorrect information, then our readers would actually lose trust, and they may not want to uh, read our blogs again. So that is why just make sure that we do a proper research. And it is often said that one content should only have a single purpose. One story should have one moral of the story. It cannot have multiple morals. If there are multiple, it makes the content confusing. So that's why I focus only on a single purpose. The next is select a unique voice. We all have our own style of writing. We all have our own way how we uh, create our content. Now, how the best thing to know is try to find out what suits you the best. Now, how will you find that out is so we can find that out by practicing as much as you can. So one thing that I will suggest you, if you have to become or if you want to become a good writer, uh, take out 15 minutes of time every day and practice your writing every day. Okay? And that 15 minutes has to be uninterrupted. If you can spare more time, definitely nothing like that, but spare 15 minutes of day every day to practice your writing. There are content writers who earn around 10 to 15,000 rupees per month by writing their content. Then there are also writers who earn 10 to 15,000 or more by just publishing one content. Just for one content, they earn the same amount. So to get from year to year, it requires practice. And initially, when you're starting, yes, try different things. Publish different types of contents. Then that's how you will realize that what suits you the best. Okay. And I can bet on this that if you practice uninterrupted 15 minutes of writing every day, on the 31st day, read what you wrote on day one. You will automatically be able to highlight, oh, this is how I wrote, or this is how I used to write, just in 30 days. Okay, so try it. You will notice a difference. Then try to learn from experienced content makers or experienced content writers that what are the best practices that they do. Okay, and of course we'll keep on learning all these things. Okay. Another thing, now one general question for all of you. If you have to become a good content writer, what skills do you need to be a good content writer?
We should have a good grammar skills.
Correct. Yes. One is grammar skills.
Imagination.
Imagination. Yes.
Your thought process should be good.
Correct. The thought process should be
Creativity.
good. Creativity.
Plagiarization should be avoided.
Yes. Plagiarization should be avoided. Okay. Anything else we would like to add?
Open mind.
Yes. Keep an open mind.
I have a personal point of view when it comes to content writing.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I feel that unless we have this passion to communicate our viewpoint or our perspective, the content writing is difficult. So I think it starts with the passion of being communicative or being expressive, and then later all the structure falls in place.
Yes, fair point. I agree on this. So yes, if you have the passion, you'll automatically start following the other things. But yes, you should actually have the passion. If you do not, yes.
Clarity.
Clarity, correct.
About the topic.
Okay, correct. Clarity about the topic. Okay.
Right knowledge about the topic.
Mm-hmm. Yes, clarity and knowledge of topic that we are going to write about. So yes, good point. And anything else you can think of?
Observing
Learning.
things.
Sorry?
Observation skills, observing things around you.
Yes, correct.
And trying to be more precise, not elaborative.
Yes, correct. Because mostly on when we
know
are
our audience.
Sorry, can you repeat that, please?
We must know our audience for whom we are writing.
Correct. Yes, very important point.
And in that case, in case we are working for our clients, then the client's expectations.
Yes, correct. Yes, very good point. Okay, so first of all, grammar skills or language skills, whichever language that you're writing. And Anushka has mentioned a point, consistency. That is a good point. Okay, so grammar skills. Now, why we need this skill is grammar skills or language skills. Unconsciously, we tend to notice people's mistake. For example, if someone, when we are talking to someone, if someone pronounces a word in a weird way, okay, for example, when I'm reading this, if I read instead of thought process, if I read thought process, again, unconsciously, we all notice this. It was not our intention to find others' mistake, but unconsciously, we still notice it. This happens in writing as well. If we make a grammatical mistake or if we make maybe a spelling mistake, people tend to notice these things. And when they notice these things, at times it creates an impression that it is not written by a professional writer. So because of that, they may lose their interest and they may stop writing, stop reading. So that is why just make sure that you follow the right grammar, the right language practices. There are certain contents like blogs. You may not have to be expert in that language. You can use simple language, which is easy to understand, but make sure that it is correct language. There's no mistake in that. It is okay to use simple English or whichever language you're writing in. Okay? For example, there are different sort of writers. Have you heard of Chetan Bhagat?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, his audience is different, and his language, he targets audience which is more of a college student. So that's why his language is very simple. Whereas if you read more of a literature-based books, that language is pure English. But not everyone can understand it. So it depends where you're publishing or where you're posting your content. According to that, you will be using the language. Imagination, thought process, or creativity. This is one of the things which is very important, especially if you're interested in writing stories, poems, or anything which falls under creative writing. Okay, for example, okay, I'll show something. Um, if we have, okay, if we have, if I show you this, okay, most of us would say that, yeah, this is a box, okay, where ideally, yeah, you can keep your speakers. But if you show the same thing to a child, that for that child, it may not be a box. For that child, it may be a gun. For that child, it may be a missile. For that child, it may be a rocket. Or it can be something where they can store their toys in. So this is the power of imagination. So if you're interested in creative writing, first of all, think like a child, because that is how you will get more imagination. Has any of you, there's a little old Bollywood movie, if you guys watch Bollywood movies, there was one movie which was called as, it was Jenny Leah and Imran Khan. Have you guys watched it?
जाने तू ये जाने ना.
जाने तो ये
Perfect.
जानना, yeah. In that
Yes.
they play a game of that imagination.
Yes. Perfect. Yeah, that's what I wanted to hear. So yeah, they play a game. Hey, what's that? And yeah, if it's a tree, they'll not call it a tree. They'll say that, yeah, it's a lair wherein a witch would come out of it. So again, this is how you can use creativity. And very important point, to avoid plagiarism. Because yes, if you are copying others' content, then yes, your content would not be authentic. And if your readers would already have something original to read, why would they read a copied content? So try to so create something which is your original content. It is okay to take inspiration, but not okay to copy. For example, if you want to know that what are others writing about, what topic are they writing about, what is trending currently. So for those things, you can take ideas, but do not copy exactly the same thing. And yeah, especially in creative writing, keep an open mind, because yes, there may be, you don't have to be factual, but you only have to be believable. Have you guys read the book Harry Potter or seen the movie Harry Potter?
Yes.
Okay, good. So if you see, it's completely a fictional world, which is magic, which is filled with magic.
Yes.
So it may not be a fact, but it is believable. The details that the author has put in to create that magic world makes us that there are few people who actually believe that yes, there is a world like this which is hidden from us. Because of the detailing, it is actually made believable. So in creative writing, you have to be believable. Yes, Siddhant. Were you saying something? Okay. So keep an open mind, and yes, be passionate, because yes, if you really believe in your content, that's when your audience would believe in your content. And yes, make sure that you have the passion and you follow it rigorously to publish your content. And make sure that you have good knowledge and clarity of the topic. Your observation skills is very important, because what you observe, there are some writers who take inspiration just by sitting in a hotel or sitting in a cafe. They just sit and notice people, and um, that's how they come up with ideas. For example, anyone has watched old Govinda movies?
I was a fan of Govinda.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a few, I
Nice.
guess. Yes.
Yes. A few movies were actually really good. So how Govinda used to pick up his characters. So in certain movies, he used to act weird characters. For example, in one of the movie, Coolie #1, he used to talk, "Hey, kya kare la," type in that style.
Hmm.
So yeah, so so these things have been picked up from real life characters. So it was in his native, there was one of the person who used to talk like this. That's how he got the idea that yeah, it's funny. Why don't I use it in a movie? Same way, if you're writing stories, you can create characters with it. Okay, and one point which is very important is know your audience. Different people have different interest. For example, there are some people who like reading fiction. Then there are few people who like reading non-fiction. Few like reading crime stories. Few like reading funny stories. So different interest. People who like usually reading light-hearted or funny books or stories, if you add crime in that, they would not read it. Okay? Or few people who like reading suspense stories. If there's no suspense in that story, it is just, let's say, comedy or and only action, but no suspense, they won't enjoy reading it. So depending on audience, so it is very important to understand who is reading it. It is also applicable for a simple email that you send. If you send an email to a colleague who's working at the same position, and a colleague who's a good friend of you, you can be a little casual. You can use certain casual terms. You can be humorous. Same email, if you're sending to the CEO of your company or even directors of your company, you cannot be casual. You have to be more formal and to the point. So depending on who your audience is, according to that, you will craft your sentences and craft your content. And be consistent when writing it. So in short, in the entire content, follow a proper theme, follow a proper font of paragraph structure. For example, all subheadings has to be exactly that one particular size. Let's say if you keep it 12, all subheadings has to be size 12. And everything which is a part of the paragraph has to be size 11. The main heading has to be 14. So follow this consistency even in your colors. For example, um, Have you guys seen ads of Airtel?
Yes.
Okay, can you remember any colors that they usually use?
Red.
Perfect. Because Airtel's theme color is red. So everything that you see in an Airtel ad is based on that. So it is all red and white that they use everywhere because those are their colors. And when we look at these colors, it makes us remember of the brand. So that's how you can be, you can make an impression, and that's how the audience will remember you. So far, any question?
Please proceed.
Okay, good. All right, now let's talk about style in writing. So style is actually the way that an author uses their words, uses tones in writing. So, so all of these things are considered as style. The style depends on author to author, and it depends upon one's syntax, word choice, and tone. Syntax is the way that you arrange your sentences. So it depends on that. Some people may also call it as voice. But yes, style is the way that the author or the writer crafts their sentence the way we write. Everyone has their own style. But generally speaking, there are 4 common styles of writing, or style has been divided into 4 groups. The first is expository, second is descriptive, then narrative and persuasive. Expository style, you'll know if you break down this word. So if you just take this part, so expository is exposing something. It can be something like exposing facts to the audience. So this is what expository style of writing is. Expository style is a style of writing that exposes facts to the audience. So it can be something that explains and educates its reader, and there is no intention to entertain them or to be creative. But the main intention is to share information. For example, technical writing, medical writing, all of these things. The main intention for us when we are writing any academic content is to not provide entertainment, but is to provide information, some sort of a knowledge. So we do not care whether the audience is laughing or not, but we care about is whether the audience is learning or not. Okay. So this is what expository style is. So when you're writing something in an expository style, make sure that you use words which the other person can understand, which your readers can understand. Avoid words which are jargons. Do you know what is a jargon?
Commonly used in industry.
Correct. Yes. Words, certain words which are used in a particular industry. So only people from that industry would know those words. But people from the other industry may not know it, may not know what it means. Okay. I'll show you an example. Okay. It's more related to a technology example. But yeah, I'll show you one of the example. Have you guys seen this cable, this wire?
Yes.
Okay. Can anyone tell me what is the name of this cable?
DC cable? No, they don't.
No, DC is different.
AV.
DC is AV, audio video. Okay, it is.
Video.
Audio.
Oh, yeah, it is we switch for the TV, use for the TV and video.
Yes.
Yes. Now, many of us use HDMI. HDMI, you should know, right?
Yes.
Yes. So HDMI is different, but yeah, AV or audio video, we usually refer this cable as, but it is not the name of this cable. But I'm sure most of you would have used it once, at least once in your life.
Yes.
Yes.
Good. But yes, most of us has never actually come across the name of this. So, but yeah, what you said, audio video is commonly used term for this, but that is not the name. Yes.
Coaxial cable, no?
No, coaxial is different.
Okay.
Coaxial is something which is more used for sharing high amount of data, mostly used in internet.
Okay, sir.
By the way, the name of this cable is actually called as composite cable. Yes. Has anyone heard this name before?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. This is the name of this cable, composite. Okay.
Oh.
But now imagine if you're writing any sort of tech related information, and let's say it's something as simple as a user manual. Now, if you mention, please connect the composite cable to the composite connector of your device, most of them would not even understand what does this mean. So if they do not understand, ideally there's no point if the audience does not understand. So when you're writing any sort of expository information where you want to share information, make sure you use words which your audience understands. For example, for this cable, since we know that most of us would not know what is composite cable, you can rather write connect the yellow connector to the yellow port of the device, white to the white port. So at least everyone would know how to match colors. So this would be comparatively easier. Okay? Or connect the yellow video cable to the yellow video port of the television. So this is how you can mention it. So this will make your content more understandable. So that is where you can proceed when you're writing expository content. Now, there is another type of content which is called as descriptive style. Descriptive style, we do not worry about sharing information, sharing facts. This is more about using our creativity. So in creative writing, poems, this is used a lot. If you so in descriptive style, the intention of the writer is not to share, is not to make the audience read through our content. We do not want the audience to just read through it. We want them to imagine our content. That is how our content would be successful. I'll give you an example. Okay. For example, if someone asks you, or let's say if you're writing a story, which is more based on, and you start with how was the day today? Because we use that a lot in writing. So one of the example is this. The day began with a nice weather. Okay, this is one example. The other is in this we can understand that the weather is good, but what is good in the weather? What is it that makes it nice? So we can read this, but we cannot imagine this. Now let's look at the second example, which is this. Temperatures hovered in the 20s as the sun rose. Fluffy clouds dotted the ocean blue sky. Does this make you imagine it a little?
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect. So
yes, this is more visually you can understand it. Like imagine it with.
Yes, right. So this one makes it more imagining. For example, temperatures hovered in the 20s, so we know that it's not too hot, not too cold. as the sun rose. So we know that, yeah, it is sunrise time, and fluffy clouds dotted the ocean blue sky. So we can imagine that, yeah, it's a little cloudy, partially clouded, and there are small pieces of clouds in the sky. So at least it makes us imagine. So this is how you will write creative writing when you're writing fictions. This is the style of writing that you will use. This is called as descriptive style. Okay. So descriptive style uses a lot of metaphors. The one that, yeah, we were discussing. So descriptive style uses a lot of metaphors, similes, allegory. Do you know what is this? What does this word mean?
Some okay. It is fiction. As much as I understand, it's a fiction, but it is recreated as a real life story.
Yes, correct.
Like the story of Job in the Bible. I mean, that's one of the very famous allegories.
Correct.
Drishyam 2.
Drishyam 2, yes, somewhat correct. Yes, it sort of falls in that as well. So usually allegory is something which is more of a narrative type, which talks about a particular thing or an object or a character. But yeah, it is made into a believable and a real life story type by adding details. Okay, now allegory can be something which can be a historical allegory as well. For example, if you make a story, which, let's say, you mention something that this happened 100 years ago, and you use that time, things which were there in that time. So you create your your story plot more revolves around that. So all these things can be used in allegory. So all these things keeps the audience engaged. Okay. So whenever you are writing about descriptive style writing, there are 5 senses that we will use. In school, we may have learned that, yes, what are the 5 sensory organs of our body? So descriptive style writing revolves around those. So visual, what you see, you describe that. For the example that we saw, this one, this is visual sense. So you are using something that you can visualize. You're using that. The second is oral. What you hear, you describe that. So you can describe a sound, like the sound is low, high, sharp, soft. So you can describe a sound in such way. For example, the day started with birds chirping in the tree. So at least it makes the audience feel that, okay, yeah, there are birds, sound of birds. Olfactory is smell. Whatever you smell, you describe about that. For example, you can describe a smell. It can be anything that you smell.
Sweet, enchanting, or like that. Yeah.
Perfect. Yes, absolutely. And you can also compare the smell with something else. For example, flowery smell. So you can also compare it with something. Then there is material. Material is mostly touch material, also called as tactile. So this is the next one, which talks about more of when you touch something, what you feel. When you touch something, a surface, you may feel that it's hard or it's soft, or it gives a certain pressure.
Smooth or rough also.
Yes, absolutely.
Certain
Smooth or rough. Yes. Or pointed. So yes, you can describe all of these things. It makes again, just to make it more visualizing. And gustatory is taste. You can describe a taste, anything which you can taste. So this is more about when you taste your favorite food, what do you feel? Whether it is salted or hot or cold or it's spicy, or it's sweet. You can describe all of these things. So you can make use of all these senses, 5 senses, to make your content more imaginable. Then the fourth style of writing is narrative writing. Narrative, as we can understand with the word narrative, is about narrating stories or storytelling. So in this, we create characters and we show what happens to those characters. We show some conflicts and we create settings. For example, where does this story take place? So we are narrating a story. So this is about storytelling more. So in a narrative style of writing, you create characters and you tell what happens to those characters. This is somewhat related to descriptive, but it is different. In narrative, you only tell what happens to the characters. For example, you only talk about the events, that this happened, this happened, this happened. In descriptive, you talk about the events, but you're more worried about how to describe those events. For example, how this happened, not just what happened. So descriptive is more elaborative. Then finally, we have persuasive writing. Persuasive is more into marketing. So if you're interested in copywriting or marketing style of writing, or anything which is related to marketing, persuasive style is one of the style of writing which is adapted for promotion, sales, and all. Unlike expository style, where it is only talking about facts, in expository style, you are not supposed to mention your own opinion. Okay, you cannot mention your own opinion. A persuasive style will often contain your opinion. For example, if you have to convince the reader that yes, this is the product that you need to have or you need to buy, you will share your point of view that why is it good. Now, how will you share it is benefit. Explain them what is the benefit of it, instead of just talking about yes, what are the features that you're getting. Instead, talk about what benefits are you getting from that. That's how they would feel like buying this. Okay. For now, this is one of the things that we are. So right now we still in the basics of it. But yeah, so just to give you a brief before we proceed next. So as I mentioned that yeah, today's webinar is organized by Welkin, which is an educational institute where you also have a full-fledged content writing course. I'm just giving you the details of the course so that you're aware. So you will learn all of these details and all of these things in more detail. Right now, we are still in the basics, but there's a lot more to it. So content writing course is 32 hours of live online instructor-led training. So sort of like what you saw today. It'll be sort of like that. So in the course, it'll be 32 hours of course. You will have access to LMS. All the sessions would be recorded. And one of the things that you will really enjoy is freelance opportunity. For example, most of the courses that you see these days, they'll complete the course, but with Welkin Highs, we will give you after you complete the course, we will give you actual projects, freelance projects where you will also get paid. So you will get it from Welkin Highs itself. And so this is one really nice feature that you will get. And plus there is also internship. If you're interested in doing internship to learn about the projects, how to handle real life projects, you'll also experience this. Okay. And yes, there is also.
Could you please tell us what will be the.
Sorry, could you please tell us what will be the after that? I couldn't hear you.
could you please tell us the I mean जो ये क्या बोलते हैं फ्रीलांसिंग जो प्रोजेक्ट मिलेगा
हाँ
उसका क्या मतलब हमको क्या रेम्यूनरेशन मिलेगा उसका कुछ आइडिया है?
वो प्रोजेक्ट्स के ऊपर डिपेंड करता है. So we
वो
have
यूएस
tie-ups with
क्लाइंट्स रहेंगे
clients.
या फिर इंडियन क्लाइंट्स?
Can be both. We have tie-ups with actually multiple clients. So depends on your interest and project availability. तो आपको projects offer होंगे. You can pick up which one you like.
One more, is this course, in this course, will we be trained to write all type of contents, or is it focused to one particular style or?
These are the types of contents that this course will focus on. So business writing, creative writing, technical writing, marketing related writing, academic writing.
Okay.
And you'll also learn a little bit of graphic skills because usually a content is appealing if it has a visually appealing image or video, something related to that. So you'll
That
also be
means
learning
it will
graphics.
teach us or sort of guide us to how to use Canva and the kind of other things which involve the graphic.
Yes.
And I also have a doubt. If I'm writing a blog, will you guys guide us to how to monetize that content, or we have to do other courses for that?
For monetization and all basic marketing related things, yes, those are included. But the course focuses more related to writing, on how to write a blog. But yes, even if you have such questions, yes, we will help you out with that. Okay, and yes, if you see this part, how would you monetize your writing skill? So yes, so there is a separate topic on it, that how can you convert this writing into and how can you earn from content writing? So yes, there is a module on that.
What is the duration of the course?
32 hours.
32 hours, okay.
Yes.
I'm planning to start my blogs. So I just want to know that is the blogs relevant these days, or it is going to be replaced by something?
Okay. So blogs are actually followed a lot these days. For example, if someone needs a quick information, they would put that they would type keywords on Google, and based on the result, they'll start reading blogs. So blogs is actually very relevant these days. But for the future, one of the things that is really I would say booming, a little casual word, but yeah, these days is videos. Yes. Yeah, we will also cover that part.
And yeah, hello.
Yes.
I have one doubt. You have written here exam prep, right? So in that you have mentioned assistance in getting free certificate in content marketing. What does it mean?
Which point are you talking
that
about?
last one, exam prep. That is
exam prep.
Yeah. What does it mean? Assistance in getting free certificate means?
Assistance in getting free certificate. This is more HubSpot related. So in content marketing. So anyways, you will be getting a certificate for the course, which is government registered. And yes, and so you will be getting the certificate, and we will also help you in preparing for HubSpot. In HubSpot, there are information related to content marketing. So if you have to give an exam for that, we'll help you prepare for that.
So do we have any exams after we complete this course?
You will have assignments in the course. So based on, so you will submit your assignments and we share the feedback.
What kind of assignments?
Different types of assignment. For example, you will be writing blogs, you'll be writing something which is creative. So yeah, based on what we cover that day, you'll be getting assignments based on that.
Yeah, thank you.
Hello, Gaurav.
Hello.
Yes.
Gaurav, I have one question. What is prerequisite to for this course? Like we should have like grammar
Passion
should
for
be.
writing.
Yeah. Any writing is the prerequisite, but our grammar should be like it's very good.
At least you should have basic knowledge of grammar.
Okay.
You may not have to be like
master in grammar.
Yes. So
Okay,
for example, blogs and all, it just requires basic knowledge of language. So at least you should have basic understanding.
Gaurav, has the content to be only in English can be it in any other language also?
Content can be in any language.
So no restriction for the language?
Not at all. Because there are a lot of blogs which are also, because we live in a country which has more than 100 languages. So it can be in any language.
I mean, for other languages also, will there be this course will give 100% like kind of placement guarantee, or is it just for the English people?
The course, the training would be in English.
Yeah.
But
if
it is
we are
more
good
based
enough to produce, suppose if I am multilingual, like I know 3 or 4 languages, very good in both in written and reading. As far as it is concerned. So suppose if I am writing one thing in English, one thing in Urdu or Hindi, will this course be able to guide me to place, like, I mean, monetize both my contents and like, I mean, in both languages? Or
ideally what you write, the content is what matters. And monetization would be where you write. So monetization would be there.
And placement? Placement, do you have sources or resources like which can guide us to other, like, I mean, other language sites also?
Mostly it's English based, where you write content in English. Because we have a lot of clients who are in US and UK. Usually the freelancing opportunity that I was talking about, that you will get with Welkin Eyes, it's mostly English.
In English, no problem. We don't have any problem in English also. I was just asking for knowledge, like, I mean.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gaurav, can you say something about academic one? What are all subheadings that cover?
In academic content, yes. So academic content, this is what you will learn. Curriculum, e-learning, essay writing, study material creation, academic guides, tutorials.
Okay.
So all of these things. So I'll just take you as to what all things you will learn. So there are 14 modules. The first module starts with introduction to WordPress and setup. So in this, we all will be creating our own website. Okay, of course, it'll be a free website. So you'll be creating your own website. Now this website, you can use it to publish your own content. Let's say if you're applying for a job somewhere, even if you apply as a fresher, they would still want to know that, okay, maybe you have not done professionally, but personally, have you written anything? So this is your portfolio. Yes, this is what I've written. So we will start with creation of a website. We learn a little bit about UX and UI. So we learn about how to use web traffic, how to use Google to the best of our knowledge. How can you research better on all of these? So we learn about UX part and UI part. UI is user interface. UX is user experience. Module 3 starts with introduction to content writing. So here we'll learn how to write articles, blogs, ebooks, press releases, newsletters. We learn about tones, that what type of tones can you use in your writing, the style that we saw preview today. You learn that, sentence structures, and US UK language different. Because yes, even if you pick up freelance projects, or even if you're working for a content writing company, there would be times where you will be asked to write, let's say in US English. So there are certain differences. So we'll talk about that. A difference between online, offline content, which are the publication channels that you can use, and how can you be an expert and influencer. Then we talk about internet skills. So this is more based on keywords, research. How can you use tools to optimize your content better? For example, I'm good in grammar, or I have really good ideas, but I'm not finding the right way to structure my sentences. So we'll learn about tools which would actually help you with this. We'll also talk about websites, which where you can check your audience, that what type of audience are you getting in what type of website. So researching on websites and all as well. Then yeah, graphic skills. So we learn about how can you edit pictures, how can you create logos, how can you, let's say if you're publishing your own book, how can you design the cover page for your book?
Will all this be practical or theoretical as of how
Mix
this
and match.
webinar is?
Mix and match of both practical and theoretical. Graphic, definitely it is completely practical. Less theory, but yeah, it's a mix and match of both.
Will you provide us books also, hard copies?
You will be getting an access to our LMS, where you will be getting soft copy or which you can access from your computer or from your phone, anything. So which would be easily accessible even if you're traveling, you just open your phone and log in.
Okay.
Do we have a lifetime access to it, or do we need to download the documents, or do we have provision for it?
You will have access to it for 1 year. To
for
the LMS.
A year, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
After a year, I'm sure you won't need it.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. So yes, and then module 6, we'll talk about more of vocabulary building. How can you improve your vocabulary? And more about talking about power words. How can you avoid jargons and where to use jargons? Then talking about using thesaurus and many such tools. Module 7 is more about blog and marketing skills like SEO writing, blogging, writing for landing page, book reviews, descriptions, cover letter, persuasive style, copywriting, and finally, editing and proofreading. So all of these things, what you see on the screen, we learn about this. Module 8 is more about writing business related content, more professional contents like email, grant writing, white papers, then writing case studies and all. So it's more about that. 9 is if you're interested in writing stories, fictions. So we'll be learning it in this module. So novel stories, flash fiction, novels, dialogue writing, script writing, and all of these things. Module 10 is more about if you're interested in technical writing. Module 10 talks about technical writing, which is research papers, thesis, project reports, and yeah, mostly technical writing related, all of this that you see on the screen. Module 11 is about academic writing, like curriculum designing, question bank, workbooks, courseware, rubrics, and yes, all of this. Guys, please don't play. So it is about coursewares, designing rubrics and all. 12 is about content marketing. So here you will use tools like Google Analytics. How can you promote your content? For example, we have written our content, but how would we publish it? And what is the best time? What is the best strategy where you will publish it? I'll give you an example. Do you guys use social media like Instagram, Facebook and all?
Yes.
Okay. So what time of the day do you think that most of the people are available on social media?
Maybe in the evening time after they complete the work.
Correct.
Early morning before they reach office, everybody browses once, and then after work. Those 2 hours are important, and of course, according to time zones, then it will change.
Correct. So mostly people are online during first thing in the morning when they wake up. So yeah, when we make up, when we wake up, the first thing that we see is a phone. Many of us. And yeah, usually in the late evenings before we go to bed, we all like accessing social media. And usually how social media works is the content which is published, which is the latest one, would usually come up first. So if you publish something in the afternoon, and most of the people are online in the evening, there is comparatively low possibility that everyone would read it, because they would scroll for some time. They'll just skim through the social media posts for some time, and after that they won't be able to see it. I mean, after that they'll stop it. So high possibility they won't read it. So yeah, so you learn about such type of strategies while publishing your content. Then module 13 is about how would you monetize your content? How can you earn from your content? So here we'll talk about affiliate marketing, AdSense, using PayPal. In usually in international transactions, PayPal is used a lot. So if you have a client who's in, let's say, in US, so usually bank transfer, yeah, may be chargeable or maybe expensive. So usually for international transactions, just for the security, PayPal is used a lot. And yeah, we'll talk about how to select freelance projects and how to write proposals and all. And module 14 finally is about writing tools and techniques. So we will be using online tools to publish our content or to make our content better. And we'll talk about a few writing hacks. The 1 year part that I was talking about, in that 1 year, you will have access to the LMS, which will include PPTs, PDF files, few games as well, which are content related games. Those are educational games. You'll actually like it. Videos, so all our training videos are recorded. So your classroom training videos, if you miss out on a particular day, you can access the recording. You'll also see case studies, and plus there are also brush up sessions. So it's not that after the course is completed, we will forget you. Don't worry, we will not forget you. So it includes 12 brush up sessions monthly. Every month you will have like a refresher sessions. In that you can ask your doubts, you can clarify your doubts. Yeah, so 1 year of brush up sessions was rupees 8,000, definitely for free, which is included. And plus the part that yeah, I was talking about, that yes, you get freelance opportunities directly from Welkin Highs. So you won't have to worry that, yeah, after I complete the course, will I be able to earn or not? Yes. So yeah, we will help you out with that. Okay. Once the course is complete, this is a prototype of a certificate that yeah you'll get. This is how the certificate will look like, which you will get after the course completion. And our next batch, we have 2 batches starting up. One is a weekday batch, one is a weekend batch. So the weekday batch is starting from 5th of December 2022, and the weekend batch is starting from 10th December 2022. So yes, you can be a part of it. If you want to know more details about this, like the fee structure. By the way, in fees, there are also EMI options available. So if you are interested, that if you may not be able to pay everything at once, you can pay in EMIs. So these are the numbers. You can contact our counselors. They would actually help you out. I'll put the numbers on chat.
Hello.
Yes.
I have a doubt. Like, when will
Absolutely.
be the classes conducted, sir?
So classes in the sense, one we have weekday batch and one is weekend.
Okay, no, not that. Like in a weekday, how many classes will be there? Monday to Friday, or how is it?
For a weekday batch, you mean?
Yeah, yeah.
For a weekday batch is Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
And timings?
Timing. So the 10th timing is generally we keep it in the afternoon, like around 2:30. So the 5th December batch, the timing for this batch is Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and it starts at 2:30 to 5:30.
What is the duration?
3 hours per
3
day,
hours.
and overall 32 hours of course.
Okay.
Thank you.
So yeah, if you guys would like to know more about this, these are our counselors. I've pasted the number on chat, or you can directly register from here. So today, because you attended the webinar, you have so you get 10% discount for registering today, and yeah, you can select either a weekday or a weekend batch. Okay, and okay, sorry, the numbers were not posted. I'll paste the numbers again. Any other question that you guys have?
Thank you so much for the session. It was really helpful. We'll get in touch.
Absolutely. And by the way, so far, what we learned today, was it helpful?
Yes,
definitely.
Yes, sir, it was.
Yes, it was interesting.
Thank you. So
yes,
it
was.
Okay. Thank you. Nice to know that. So yes, and this is how
I lost your voice.
Sorry, everyone. I mean, can you guys hear me?
Yes, now.
Okay, perfect. Okay, I'm also sending you a link on chat. If you want to get this PPT, so you can, there's a form that you can fill, and you'll get this PPT. Again, this PPT, there's no charge since it's a part of today's webinar. So you can fill out, I've sent the link. And yes, this PPT also has the course details, Ananya. Like, yeah, these are the topics that would be covered. This is what the course deals into. So, so mostly almost all the niches we'll cover in this course. And any other question that you guys have?
Is this you who will be mentoring the whole course?
Yes.
Is this the same person?
Yes. I mean, yes, I'll be the mentor for the course. Yes.
And sir, are the batches taken frequently? Like, suppose somebody who is going out of India, like December, I may not be here, and if I plan to enroll in future, so maybe in Jan, can I take up the course?
Absolutely, yes. We usually have back-to-back batches.
Oh.
So after this 10 December batch ends, the next batch will start.
And what will be the timing for weekend batch, and what will the duration?
2:30 to 5:30 weekend batch.
2:30 to 5:30.
Yes.
Okay.
And overall, 32 hours. Okay. Any other question? All right. And I've pasted the numbers. Please save the numbers, because when we leave the Zoom meeting, the chat will be also disconnected. So yes, you can save the numbers.
Timings?
Sorry?
What about the weekend timings?
Weekends, yeah, both weekday and weekends. It is so the 10th December batch is 2:30 to 5:30 p.m. And yeah, weekday batches is actually a different timing. Weekday batch, the 5th December batch that we see here, that is in the evening, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Because
one more doubt I have, like how for there are many courses in the market which offer this content writing course. Some highlight like our certificate is internationally acclaimed, or it's valid everywhere. So how far is that relevant to, like, I mean, what kind of certificate will we get? Like, it will have some LinkedIn or anything, any recognition, market recognition as such, or not? Like,
yes, the company is registered and government recognized. So yes, yes, the certificate will have a value.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, sir.
Welcome. I think let's call it a day. And first of all, thank you everyone for joining today's workshop. I hope it was helpful. And yes, we'll meet. Hope to see you in the full-fledged course. And again, if you want to know, let's say that if there is any question which is unanswered, or let's say you come across a question later on which you think that I forgot to ask this. So you can feel free to contact these numbers or so our counselors. So they will help you out with all the questions. So they'll help you out with the answers rather than the questions.
I have one small query.
Yes, please.
Yes, please. Assuming I do not have this, the bandwidth of the course includes everything, almost everything, which is relevant in the market right now for content writing. What if the person has selected interests? Assuming I do not want to know about WordPress or I do not wish to write stories, but then the course includes everything for the till certification. So is everything compulsory? Do I have to complete all the modules for the certification? Is that mandatory?
If you complete because anyways, just like in the movie Three Idiots, knowledge batrai le lijiye. So the course will cover everything, but yes, we'll cover everything. But yeah, let's say if you want to be a part of the selected things, so yes, that is still okay. But yes, the batch will have everything.
Okay, and additionally, assignments also would be given with regards to each module, isn't it? I wouldn't have that know-how. I may have to spend time for it, so that's additional.
Yes, so because yes, what we learn, but when you practically do something on your own, that is always a different experience. So yes, you will have assignments.
Right. No, assignments I totally agree with, but what I'm trying to say is assignments with regards to those topics which I have absolutely no knowledge about.
Yeah, so usually we you will mostly how we publish assignments or how we provide assignments is mostly what people are more interested in. So we usually provide assignments based on those topics. Which mostly everyone is interested in, so that it covers everyone. I mean, it is relevant for everyone.
Right. All right then. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.
Welcome. But yes, guys, in the course, when we have the assignments, please complete the assignments on time, so that there is no issue with the certificate later on. So that is your exam to get the certificate. Okay.
Thank you very much. Yes.
The other question I have now, since we mentioned assignments, no, the idea is not that I'm worried about the assignments. So in case the grade, is it on the basis of grading, on evaluation, and do we get opportunities to reattempt it?
So the assignments are more based on constructive feedback. For example, if you have written something, so the feedback on the assignment, it's not to give you marks, or the concept of assignment is not to let you know whether you are right or wrong, but it is to make you understand how can you do better in this.
Got it.
The feedback is more on this, that let's say you've written something, how can you make this better? Or maybe this is something that you have done good, but how can you do better? So based on that.
Right. Okay.
Okay. All right. And once again, guys, thank you so much for being interactive. And it's really nice that you guys are asking questions and clearing all your doubts. And once again, I thank all of you for being a part of today's session. All the best for your content writing career, and yes, hope to see you in the batch. And again, for any questions, please contact our counselors on these numbers if you have questions after the session. Okay, so thank you so much, and happy Sunday. So, bye-bye.
Bye, sir. Thank you.
Welcome. Bye.
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 sir.
Bye bye.
Sir.
Yes.
Hello, sir.
Yes, Siddhant.
Sir, recorded lecture of this. Where should I get a recorded lecture of this class?
Okay, recorded. I think you can contact
I want
your.
to share it for my friend.
Okay. Yes. So you will be getting the recording. I think have you copied the numbers that I posted? Welkin High's counselor's number. You can contact them. They'll share it with you.
Yes.
Okay. If you do not have it, I'll post the numbers again on chat. Yeah, you can copy and you can call
Okay,
any
thank
of
you,
these
sir.
two numbers. Yeah, they'll share the recording. Okay. So thank you so much, guys. And yes, enjoy the rest of your day.